All right, guys, on today's show, we got a preview of the offseason, what it's going to look like, some coaching changes, maybe some player movements. We're just going to do a simple breakdown of the events of this week and look forward to the wild card weekend. All right, guys, let's get it. Enjoy the show. All right, everybody, welcome into another episode of the Vegas Guys Locker Room. I'm here with Lee today.
Hey, guys, it's Lee.
Welcome back, buddy. Good to have you back on the show.
We got Blind Squirrel on the sidelines right here.
Blind Squirrel's over here giving us the bird because we're trying to get him on the podcast. He does not want to participate. Come on,
Stage fright over there.
We spoke to Clifford, your agent, and he said, please get a statement from Ray.
He'll warm up to us in a few minutes.
So how's it been going, buddy? Everything good?
Yeah, I mean, it's just boring now. I mean, no fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the playoffs.
That's the hard part. Yeah, I know. The playoffs start soon. What are we going to have in this show? We're going to break down some things that have happened over the league. Coaches, we've had some coaches change hands. We said so. Big news today. We saw that Cliff Kingsbury has been termed by the Arizona Cardinals. What's that going to do for their offense? Because that was what he was brought in there to do, and that's what kind of made Kyler Murray.
But they didn't really show much. I mean, I think it started the season off okay, but they were never really there, I don't think. And I don't know. Maybe somebody new coming in might change things up. I mean, they have some key talents over there, but they didn't really get to shine.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It seemed like it was going to be a good fit, especially for Kyler Murray, just when he likes that pistol offense. And as short as he is, it's going to be difficult for him to fit in any kind of traditional system. So I'm curious to see what that's going to happen to his fantasy value. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins already came out, too, and said he may not be with the team next year.
That's going to be a big hurt.
That's going to be a big blow.
Yeah, big hurt on their offense. I mean, they didn't. That's all pretty much they had. I mean, their offense and the big guy there, but without him, and who's the next one to step up? When he was out all those weeks.
I mean, Hollywood Brown stepped up, but
and he's injury prone too.
Oh yeah, he's proven that. I don't know, because he's a smaller type guy too,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, even coming into the league, he was already hurt before the draft. Well, we'll wait and see on that one. We'll have more news on that. There's also breaking news that the Colts have submitted requests to interview Aaron Glenn from the Detroit Lions, the defense coordinator there, ex-player.
What defense?
Oh my! Hey,
what defense?
That's. I guess they're looking for another season to get to try for a high pick, because I mean, it's going to be curious. I mean,
so the Colts are interviewing somebody from Detroit,
yes,
to come as a defense coordinator when Colts defense was already good this year.
Yeah, I thought that. They're going to. Yeah, they want Aaron Glenn to come in for the head coaching job.
Oh, for the head coaching job.
Yeah, for their head coaching positions. What they're looking at.
The defense coordinator that got lit up like almost every week.
Oh yeah,
is going to come up as a head coach.
Yeah, man. But hey, we never know. Listen, they'll go through their emotions. I'm curious to see how that works out.
I just think they just need a new quarterback.
I think
younger quarterback.
I'm curious to see, like, is there a possibility they keep Jeff Saturday as their head coach?
No, I don't think so. He didn't prove anything.
I mean, he really.
For him coming in too, like, it was a big, like, what the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, especially in a head coaching role.
He never had, like, what was his head coaching job before? Like high school?
I think he was coaching a high school team.
Not even college level.
Yeah, not even college level. He's never been a positional coach. Yeah. It's.
I mean, he was a great player.
Oh, absolutely.
But coaching is a whole different thing.
Yeah. I mean, granted, maybe he's got leadership qualities. Maybe there is a head coaching job for him down the future, but now it just
he just needed more experience, I believe.
Yeah,
high school to college level is already
that's a big jump. Man.
Yeah,
that's a big
now
jump.
Now he goes high school to a pro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they didn't reach out for the Manning. Peyton Manning. I mean, right?
It's going to be curious. I mean, especially in Indianapolis, their offense has just been struggling the last couple of years. I think it's just a quarterback play.
Yes. Because they have a lot of good talent.
Yeah, and they're just going for, like, overly used QBs that are just
that were somebody.
That are looking for
they're all
one
washed
job.
out. You know what I mean?
Yep. Now, Also broke that Lovie Smith is out as the Texans head coach.
Texans have a big issue because they can't keep a coach for a year now.
You got to make up your mind. I mean, last year I thought the head coaching was solid given what that team was.
Yeah.
This year, I thought the Texans were in more games than they were out of.
Yes.
Because the defense kept them in there.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a coaching issue. I think this is a lack of talent on the field issue.
Yes, I agree.
I don't know what this is going to mean for any of the fantasy value on anybody's. Or Brandon Cooks came out today saying he does not want to be part of this rebuild.
I don't see who would want to be in that part of the organization when they keep on changing things around. Oh, we're not winning. Okay, we got new personnel coming in. If you can't, okay, we got another one coming in next year. It doesn't even make sense. You know, you got to give them a chance to kind of build their team, but instead it's like you can't make it happen this year, then you're done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And the players, they're not gonna respect anybody.
They've got some solid pieces there, especially that young running back they got out of Florida. What was his name?
Pierce.
Yeah, Damian Pierce. He's actually looked really rock solid his rookie year. I think he ran out of steam towards the end of the year.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's the locker room over there. Nobody's motivated anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe
they don't have the leadership.
Yeah, maybe it was a locker room issue. Who knows? But them changing head coaching jobs, 2 times in a row, 2 years in a row, just baffles me. Hold on.
Yeah, good way to get out, man.
Yeah. All right. So, looking at other news, what else is going on in the league here today? Of course, coming along with that Arizona firing, it is a GM firing as well. So Arizona will be both looking for a head coach and a GM this offseason. That should be interesting to find out.
Yeah,
that's tough to fill. But Patriots head coach Bill Belichick told reporters that he will be back for another season in 2023, and the process starts today. So going to be interesting to see how much longer Bill Belichick's going to stick this out. Maybe he just didn't want to end it on a negative, losing season where you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, was this the first year that they didn't make the playoff?
In like it's been a long time
before Brady.
No, I think I think they missed the playoffs once with Brady. If I'm not sure, I know they didn't have a losing season, but I think they may have missed the playoffs once.
He has a long run. I mean, but he is the guy that made a team out of nothing.
Yeah, and I think
all these years
they had so many personnel and coaching changes over in New England. I think that really hurt because you could see the regression from Mac Jones from last year to this year with the absence of Josh McDaniels.
They have pretty good talent over there. I mean, no superstar names, but
the talent is there.
Yeah, the talent has always been like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But they don't have that rock solid superstar. But they have a solid team. But Mac Jones's regression this season was just
what was his backup's name? That played for I forgot his name, man.
Yeah,
but I mean
he looked solid. He looked pretty solid.
Yeah.
His arm strength looked to me though in question. I don't think he had the big time arm to be able to throw the ball out there in New England, especially in the cold weather. So that was going to be curious.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, looking at next year's status for the New England fantasy players, I mean, who do you go with? I mean, Mac Jones, you can't rely on as a starting quarterback unless you're in a 2 QB league where you're hoping for that.
That's nobody really. It's like you don't even know who you're gonna start as a running back because they could use both. They'll go, okay, we use one this week, we use the next one next week. Sometimes they use 3. You know what I mean? Like, and it's always been like that with Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, running back position wise, receiver they had one guy that'll go off, and then they'll use him. Mostly it was Brady and the tight ends, but they didn't really have a superstar names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just whoever shined that week, they're gonna make them a superstar.
Yeah,
I mean they're gonna make them, do all that, and next season it could be somebody else. So that team has always been like, unless you get like when Brady was there, Brady or Gronk. Other than that, it was like hit or miss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, who else could you take from looking at this offensive team? Jacoby Myers, but he can't stay on the field.
Yeah.
Like you said, the running backs. It looked like Ramondre Stevenson had taken over the backfield and then completely vanished the last 2-3 weeks.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been like that with that team. Yeah. Even when they're so good, it was never a solid, okay, this is the guy for this team. It's always who played better that week, you know?
Yeah, so it should be interesting looking at those predictions for fantasy football next season. And listen, guys, we will break this down a little bit more. We just kind of wanted to do a brief rundown just because it's the end of the year. A lot of news breaking, a lot of coach firings. We will set this up, probably do a couple shows each month just to break down news and notes of hirings, firings, players changing. You got the free agency coming up, a lot of free agents on the move, what that's going to mean for fantasy next year. Of course, you got the draft, who's coming up. They got some good running backs this draft. They got a lot of they're excited about the quarterbacks coming out in this draft. So it should be very interesting. But we will break that down. And speaking of the draft, it looks like the Bears locked up the number 1 pick with the Texans giving them that number 1 pick. I thought that was a lot of people question that, but I thought it was genius. And the reason I think it's genius, I think that saves them money. Because they want a quarterback in Texas.
Yeah.
The Bears don't want a quarterback. You got Justin Fields. You're going to save some money by not having that guy be the number 1 pick. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean,
unless the Bears try to move down.
Yeah. Anything goes, man. They could trade draft day, baby. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you. I mean, they can make a lot of moves. But nowadays, who's willing to trade up and give up that much capital for the number 1 pick?
Yeah.
Because none of them panned out. I mean, you look in the future. I mean, look at the past. You look at some of these number 1 overall quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, all these guys that you gave up so much capital to get. A lot of those guys don't even play for those teams. RG3.
Yeah.
I mean, your third-round pick in Kirk Cousins is still playing, and RG3 hasn't been in the league in, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
So
and when he was in the league, too, he was always he was hurt.
Yeah, he was always hurt. Did not do anything good. But the draft order looks like the top 10 drafts. It looks like the Eagles will, even with their dominant season, still end up with the 10th pick, which is crazy. That's going to be huge for them.
Is that a trade up? It says
they got that. Orleans, right? Yeah, they got that trade from New Orleans. Looks like the Panthers will fall in at number 9, Falcons at 8, the Raiders at 7. God knows what they're going to do with that because
that's another team, man. I mean, we're now that's our team.
Yeah,
Vegas. You know what I mean, Raiders. So. I don't know, man.
You got no
what
QB.
What they gonna do?
You got no QB. You got a stud receiver. You got a stud tight end. You got a stud running back.
Exactly.
And you got no quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are they gonna stick with him? And you know what I mean? Like, what's gonna happen?
I know the reports they've had, like Brady people talking about how Brady might come. There's no offensive line here.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is just putrid. Unless you have a solid offensive line, Tom Brady's not coming over here.
No.
And their defense is suspect. So, but then you got the Lions coming in at 6, which is huge because they got that trade from the Rams when they did the Stafford deal.
Yeah.
So the Lions, much improved team, looking to prove more. I think offensively, I think they've got enough weapons there. I think in this draft, I think they really need to.
The Lions are a very interesting team. I mean, they give up a lot of score, but they could score a lot, man. Their offense is pretty damn good.
I mean, their offense, and they started to address that defense when they got Hutchinson, which I thought he was impressive as a rookie. Now you just build off that. Now with the 6th pick, I think you can continue to do that and build up your defense or your defensive line or your O-line. Seahawks, of course, getting a trade from Denver for that unlimited deal. They got for.
Come on, Ray. Say it.
Come on, give us an unlimited, Ray.
Come on, Ray.
He's ignoring us now. But yeah, they get that trade from the Denver Broncos, so they will get the number 5 pick. Curious to see what the Seahawks are they going to stick with Geno Smith next year?
I don't know, man. Geno,
stop. Here he goes again with his Geno Smith bullshit.
No, but man, he. This is probably the best year he ever.
Oh, it's the best year he's ever played. Absolutely.
So, I don't think it's him. It's the people around him or the system or the team. I mean, they're making it happen, man. They made the playoffs.
I don't think Tyler Lockett gets enough credit on how good of a wide receiver he is. I don't think he gets enough credit because that man is a stud. And if you noticed, Geno Smith's play falls off when Tyler Lockett's not in the lineup.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think Lockett gets enough love as being one of those top-tier wide receivers.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with Geno.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all like him over there. Too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very liked guy in that locker room, so he probably would be there unless with that draft, where are you going to go? You're going to address some defensive needs. You found a nice stud running back in Kenny Walker.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You still have your offense, maybe your offensive line. I think that's where they need to address. I think they need some help along that offensive line, possibly defensive line. It's been a long time you've seen a stellar defense in Seattle, but
yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
Legion of Boom.
Colts. Where do the Colts go? They got to go QB, right?
Oh, for sure, man. For sure.
They got to actually take this draft and draft themselves a quarterback.
They have a lot of key players. Even their defense is pretty damn good.
Their defense is pretty good.
Yeah.
Their O-line took a giant leap backwards this season.
Yeah.
I mean, they were the number one O-line last year, and they took a giant drop, not bringing back some key guys, letting them go in free agency, and that team did not look right. I mean, Jonathan Taylor did absolutely nothing for fantasy.
What a bust, man.
That was such a bust. I know you had him in our sleeper league. I think I had him in the Yahoo league, and it just didn't do – he was absolute garbage.
Yeah.
So
I should have stuck with Henry, man.
But the Yeti kind of fell off there. I mean, the global warming hits, and snow did not fall in Vermont for Ray to make it to the next round. But the Cardinals with the number 3 pick.
That's a whole lot of questions there. I mean, they're gonna have a whole new, coach. And
that
GM
one, you don't know where you're gonna go with that until you find out the GM and coach for that hiring. So Texans got the same thing. They have no coach yet. So
I don't think they have any clue what they're doing.
I think you have to draft a quarterback there. I think you just have to. I don't see the Texans going any other way but QB. Their defense was solid. They remind me of my old Niners teams where their defense was solid, but their offense was so bad.
Yeah, really bad. I mean, they stepped up towards the end. I mean, but
Davis Mills, General Mills, I don't think he is the answer.
No.
I think he was worth taking a second look at because I thought his rookie year he looked like he could have something in the tank, but I don't think he's got enough there to warrant a franchise quarterback spot.
Oh, no way. No way.
And then you get the Bears.
I mean, Justin Fields stepped up. I mean,
stepped up and ran.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what he was good at college, right?
Yeah,
scrambling.
Yep.
And took him a year to kind of figure out, right?
Yeah, the thing with Justin Fields is, he ran the ball a lot, but there's no receivers, no weapons.
No. But I mean, that shows that maybe they could trust this guy as a quarterback and use that as a weapon because when he started running, they couldn't cover him.
Yeah.
He'll break 100 yards in the first half. Are they going to use that as their weapon to where now they could have receivers opened up? You know what I mean? They bring in some, young talent or whatever. But what are they missing to where they could have a better team around that, though? You know what I mean? What are they going to get? Yeah,
I know, but Darnell Mooney was expected to have a big year. He didn't really do much.
Because... Like we were just saying, Fields can't throw.
Yeah, he can't throw.
He's a runner.
He's strictly a runner. I don't know how you improve that. They have 2 stud running backs.
Yeah.
Their defense was not that bad. I mean, they started trading pieces away, and they got a lot worse as the year went on. But I don't know where they make this move. So, question is, do they trade down and pick up more picks?
Because first pick usually... I'll go to like a quarterback.
It's got to be. It's got to be a game changer. Either if it's a defensive lineman, the pass rush. Curious to see what they do with this. But we'll break down draft analysis for the players coming out of college in an episode coming up later on in the offseason. Also look at free agency and what moves are going to be made by other teams.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of movement happening this year.
Oh, I think so too. I think there was a lot of guys like. You take the Lions, for instance. Jared Goff had a solid year.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything amazing, but it was a solid year, and it's a contract year for him. Is he back as the Detroit quarterback next year? That's another question because you've got a ton of weapons now in Detroit.
A ton. Oh, I just found out. So, Michael on Day Shift, the slot manager, he's like, oh, man, you watched the Lions game yesterday? I said, yeah. So remember the first long touchdown they had and it got called back as holding? Mm-hmm. Things like something Williams, I think that's his name.
Yeah, Williams, Jameson Williams.
Yeah. That's his nephew.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
He was telling me, I was like, what? He goes, yeah, this kid always had legs. It was good. I used to watch his games in high school and college. I think he went to Bama.
Yeah, he was arguably the best wide receiver in the draft.
I was like, what?
He got hurt in the championship game last year, right?
Oh, wow.
I think it was with
So he was like, yeah.
Yeah,
He was like, man, he finally shined, and then they called it back.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They have so much weapons over there in Detroit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, if he comes back, or if they find a solid QB, the offense is gonna be there. They have a lot of weapons, but yeah, they just got to build a defense around it. I mean, I think they can't score 40 and give up 40. You know what I mean?
Well, we'll break all that stuff down fantasy wise, but what do you think of the playoff picture coming up this coming up weekend here?
Well, this morning I was kind of looking through the matchups, and then I don't know, some of the matchups I'm thinking, oh man, they should cream them, whatever. But now the more I analyze it, right? Okay, just say the Bucks game, they're playing Cowboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monday night. Okay, you think looking at this year, easily Cowboys gonna dominate.
You would think so.
But now the question is, it's the playoff.
Yeah.
Who's got the most win in the playoff? Who's got the most experience in the playoff?
And
who makes that happen in the playoff?
Dak Prescott did not look great in that final game against Washington.
That team was so dominant, like defense-wise also, but it didn't look too dominant towards the end either. You know what I mean? Even I don't know.
Yeah.
But just looking at the one GOAT, Tom Brady.
It's hard.
I mean,
on the other sideline, you got the GOAT. You got the GOAT over there. And the Cowboys, it's going to be interesting because that team is loaded with talent, but they just can't seem to be a dominant team. It's kind of curious, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
But they do have that pass rush over there on the Dallas side, and, Brady doesn't move, so he is a statue. Another matchup, you got the Giants and the Vikings.
That's another one. Giants hung in there all year. Vikings was untouchable until the last few weeks, right?
And every win they got was always close game.
Yeah,
it was either they won a close game or they got blown out by 30.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, what's going on over there?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. In the playoff, it's a whole beginning, new start. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna be the one that's gonna shine? So just on paper, looking through the whole season, you're thinking, okay, this team should dominate or this team should dominate, but never know now.
Yeah.
They got some pretty good matchups. Pretty good matchups.
I think I'll take the Vikings just simply because they're at home, and then also we'll look at you got Seattle going against the Niners in the divisional matchup in the playoffs. I think I got to take the Niners there.
Of course you do, but that's another one I was analyzing today. I was like, they know each other so well.
Yeah. Yeah, divisional games.
Niners are well-rounded compared to the Seahawks, but I don't know. Division games are always tough.
It'll be a good weekend of football.
Tough.
It'll be a good weekend of football. So, but anyways, guys, I think that'll do it for us for time today. We'll get back to you here in a couple weeks. We'll run down some other things, some things that might affect the fantasy football world coming in the next season. I'd like to thank Lee for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hopefully we can get Ray on here soon.
He's watching. He's warming up.
Yeah, is he?
He's kind of getting itchy right now.
He's getting itchy. He wants to talk.
It's getting the shakes.
But we'll be back next time with an episode, guys. All right. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you.
See you
Thank
next time.